Hello. Welcome back to another episode. As I said, this is Podsmas, Season 2, Episode 4. Welcome. So before I get into today's epi, we are going to do a slight little recap of the holiday challenge I have for you all this week. Thinking about it, I think you might need a little bit more than a week to actually come up with a resolution. So, I mean, if that's what you do, if you make resolutions, like I said, I kind of make like themes, but I will say in these past 4 days, I've come up with a few things that I don't mind sharing with the class that are on my list. So one of the things is I want to make sure that I actually create a website for the pod for next year, or I should say that I actually launch a website for the pod, because I actually did have one at one point, but it was just so bad that I just never shared it. So we are learning from our mistakes, and come rain or shine, we gonna post that baby, and it's gonna be great. So definitely getting a landing page to y'all 2021 for sure. And another thing that I'll share is, so I know myself, right? I mean, this is what this whole podcast is about, me and my journey of learning and lessons from past experiences and things of that nature. So with saying that, a couple years ago, I had a resolution type of thing where I said I was going to be more consistent and more disciplined. I don't think that I really did a great job of it. I definitely started off strong beginning of the year, of course, and then kind of fell off toward the middle. So I decided to attack that from a different angle. So instead of just saying a blanket statement like, I'm going to be more consistent and disciplined, I'm actually going to give myself a task. That way I can track it a little easier, and it makes more sense in my head. So instead of saying that I'm going to be more consistent, I'm not sure what yet, but I plan on figuring out or finding one thing that I want to stick to consistently throughout the year of 2021. So that way I'll be able to better see my progress in my consistency. And with that is going to come discipline, because you have to be disciplined in order to stay consistent. They just kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion. So I haven't figured out what that thing I want to be consistent with is yet, but at least I have that idea written down on paper. So I'll probably keep y'all updated as to what that is as the month goes on, because I don't know. I like, even though I do believe if there's something that you want to change, start now. I do like the idea of having like a fresh year to kind of, it's easier to track goals that way when you start from day one of a new year, just because it's like, oh, okay, well, it's February 28th. I know that I have stuck with whatever goal I had for the past 2 months. Like it's just easier to count. So I try my best to plan things out to where if I started on the 1st of January in the new year, then it's easier for me to be like, okay, I fell off March, it's just easier to track. Now, on to the episode. So for today's episode, once again, I had asked y'all what you wanted to hear on the pod for Podsmas, and someone had suggested sharing like a favorite memory that I had, or like a holiday memory from my past. Problem with that is that apparently I have a really bad memory. I'm really not sure if it's if it's from trauma, or if I genuinely, my brain just be like, we're gonna shut down for a little bit, or my memory, it's just like, we're gonna shut down for a bit. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know. You need to remember. So there's actually a lot of things that I don't remember from my childhood. So I can't genuinely answer that question. I've seen like pictures and stuff, of course, and from those pictures I can deduce, oh, I was happy this year, or oh, I really enjoyed that gift. So instead, I decided I'd share some of my favorite holiday/Christmas movies with you all. Mine, okay? So these are my top. And then I'm going to share a couple of movies that I watched recently that I think that y'all should watch and will most likely enjoy. So I don't want to number these because they're just all so good. So I'm just gonna tell you So this is in no particular order, but The Grinch, the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original like cartoon one, that one's cute, that one's cool. But I'm talking about The Grinch, like the human Grinch with the who's and the and the music, and yeah, love that one. The Polar Express, come on, your girl loves her a good little musical number. Yeah, the Polar Express, it just brings me back to a happy place. I love it. The Santa Claus, honestly, all three of them, well, the first and the second one are really good. The third one, I didn't really care for that one too much. Nobody talks about this one. It's not necessarily a movie. It's like an hour long, but has anybody ever watched Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer? Grandma got ran over by I'm not going to finish the song because I don't know if I'd have to pay for it. But yeah, Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. I love watching that short. Like, well, I don't know if I can call it a short since it's an hour long, but I love when it comes on TV every Christmas season. I just love it. It's good. It's good. Y'all should watch it if you haven't. Unaccompanied Minors. I talk about this movie as often as I possibly can. It is hilarious, and it's basically about these 4 or 5 minors who are unaccompanied at the airport, and they basically try and bring the Christmas spirit or the holiday spirit back to the airport because the CEO or the person who's in charge of that like airport, he is a Grinch and doesn't put up any Christmas decorations for like the airport. So the kids wreak havoc all around the airport with airport security chasing them down, and they decide to just try and bring Christmas cheer to everybody. So it is a really cute movie. It's hilarious. I found out that one of the writers from the movie is also a writer on The Office, so it explains why I love the movie so much. That's all I have that I could think off the top of my head. But those are movies that I just have to watch without fail each holiday season, every time it rolls around. Now, these 2 movies I've recently watched, and I think that they should be put on a list of some sort. So the first one, I watched this one. Actually, I think I watched this one last year, but it's on Hulu and it's called Better Watch Out. And I'm just going to read you the quick little synopsis. On a quiet suburban street, a babysitter must defend a 12-year-old boy from intruders, only to discover it's far from a normal home invasion. This movie was wild. It is so good. If you're into like mystery type, like it's not your standard Christmas movie. Like there's some gore in it. Some twists and turns you aren't expecting. It's really good. It's a really good movie. And I am so glad that I just randomly decided to watch it on Hulu. So you should too. And I am not sponsored. Let me just say that. And then the most recent Christmas movie that I watched on Hulu, Happiest Season, which is with Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis, who's the girl from Get Out, the white girl. So good. So I'm going to read that synopsis to you too. Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis star as a loving couple, Abby and Harper, who encounter a single spanner in their relationship. Harper hasn't come out to her conservative family yet, deserving all the warmth of a Hallmark card with none of the corniness. That movie is so freaking funny, and Aubrey Plaza's in it as well, looking scrumptious. Yeah, it's a really funny movie, and it's also actually has like a lot of substance in it. Like, I personally don't relate to a lot of it because I'm not a closeted gay woman. However, it makes me appreciate, like, I guess, I mean, it shows me my privilege for one, but also it just kind of sheds light on how for some people, they just don't have the support from their family that you would hope they would have. I don't know. It's just so good. It's good. Just watch it. It made me cry, but a lot of things made me cry. So maybe that's not a good marker of anything. Woo! Week 1 of Podsmas is in the books. It's in I keep hitting this. I need to figure out a better way I'm gonna put this somewhere else. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you next week for week 2 of Podsmas. Oh, and before I go, please call me. Send me something, okay? Send me your favorite holiday. Just talk to me. Let me know something. Slide in my DM. Send me an audio message. I just want to feature some people on the pod, but y'all not making it easy. Help me. Help me. Help me help you. Help you. Help me. Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and follow all the socials at MamMaJism.
That's MamMaJism. If you decide you want to financially support me, on my accounts you'll be able to find out how. Thanks in advance. Until we meet again, please be kind to one another. And from the bottom of my heart, I love you.